Hello there world, welcome to Venu Talks. Thank you for tuning in with us today. Kindly subscribe and like our content. Today we're going to talk about setting boundaries and redefining relationships in your life and finding your identity. There's a famous saying by Maya Angelou that there must be a space in you that you keep inviolate, a space that you keep pristine, clean, that you don't allow nobody to kiss you and treat you badly. It could be your mother, your father, your brother, your husband. Nobody has the right to treat you badly, to make you feel inadequate. Okay? Okay. You train the people around you. Whether you like it or not, what you accept from others is what they are going to give you. If you radiate that this is my boundary from here on, I'm not going to allow people to treat me a certain way, and that is how people are going to treat you. It's either the wrong ones are going to go out of your life and you only keep the right ones. Like setting boundaries as to friends, to boyfriends, to husbands, to even spouses in your life. Whoever you allow in your life, your colleagues, whoever is within your life, is you tell them how they treat you. It could be that even your parents, like you could just get a job right now. Your parents were surviving without you, but as soon as you got the job, everybody's like, oh, who, give me this, give me this, give me this. And at a certain time, they create the bond that they feel like you somehow owe them everything that they ask of you, that you have no space to say no to them because they kind of guilt trip you into like, oh, we have helped you before. Why are you going to say us to us now? But it's not that you are ignoring the fact that they helped you before. It's just knowing that, okay, fine, this is where I'm going to help you, and this is where I can help you, but not always I'm going to come through. And people should understand that you are not God, and you should not live up to Jesus' footsteps. It's just not gonna happen. You cannot be the giver all the time. You know what I'm talking about? You cannot be the giver all the time. Honestly and truly speaking, worrying about what people might say when you say no is just gonna drain you. At the beginning it will drain you, but in the long run you'll actually be thankful for it. Setting boundaries will probably be the most important decision you will ever make in your life. Like truly, saying no, learning how to say no to people, learning how to say no to things that you don't want, things that you don't want, the things that are not going to serve you at this particular time and moment, or even going to serve you later in the future. It's going to be one of the most precious decisions you're ever going to make. Respect is earned by setting boundaries. Knowing that once a person treats you like this, you are not going to allow this or allow them back in your life. Like, there's no reason for people to keep treating you badly and you keep allowing them in your life. That is already, you are training them how to actually keep treating you. Like, if somebody already treated you badly and for 3 times or 4 times you're allowing back in your life, that is like a pattern. That is like a pattern you're confirming with. And if it's healthy, then that is good. But if it's an unhealthy pattern, then you need to cut it out. Because that person is following patterns. It's like those little patterns that we used to draw when we were grade 1, grade 2. You know, those things will think that they didn't teach us anything. But I think those patterns really taught us to stay in our lane. You know, the line is long. Don't go, you must not draw going above the lines that you are given by your teacher or the book. Because once you go out of line, then you are wrong and the pattern will be marked down. So it's just the same thing, staying in your lane and letting people know that you are going to stay in your lane no matter what they bring to the table. I think that is the most important thing that we should really like do for ourselves, honestly and truly. And also, some people just use you as bait, literally. It's like they just know that, oh, if I ask who something, if I ask you something, if they ask you something, you're going to say yes. And if you don't say yes, and then they are going to guilt trip you to like, oh my gosh, you are saying no? When did you learn to say no? Sometimes, honestly, just don't be a doormat. People are always going to take. The takers will keep taking and taking. If you're going to be a doormat, like a doormat, you know, the welcoming mat that is in front of your house, that everybody steps on, that everybody cleans themselves on or clean their feet or their shoes on, that is going to be your life. You don't want people to be this, you don't want to be the stepping stone for people to achieve whatever they need to achieve. Sometimes you also need to set boundaries, like, I am growing, I am at this stage of my life, and I'm not going to allow this to happen to me, you know. Like, I also need those 2 cents that I must be giving out. That's what I say. Like, you should always fill your cup with goodness, and then you should learn to drink from your cup. Because not everybody is going to come and pour in goodness in your cup. Other people are just here to pour some self-sabotage attitude in your cup, and you keep drinking those. You saying yes to things you don't want to, that is self-sabotage. And you're only dirtying the inside of you, because you are gonna feel so inadequate, and you're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, what am I missing? Like, why do I allow people to treat me a certain way, or why do I allow for myself to feel this? So when you are creating your boundaries, you must create, enforce, and maintain. The same way you are drawing those patterns in your grade 3, in your grade 2, whereby your teacher instructs you to draw the pattern of an S in the same line. That's what you should do to your boundaries and setting them. You should create them. Then you must enforce them and maintain that lane. You going out of that lane is, you are opening up doors to disrespect, and for people who are not going to respect your pattern, the one that you're already setting for your lane, you know. Other people are gonna distort your pattern so badly that is eventually, if you are the marker of your life, you are going to mark that pattern down, and it's definitely not going to be to the 100% that you wanted, because it's not going to be correct, you know. So what I'm saying is, just set your boundaries, because you train people how to treat you. Honestly, there is nobody. You have choices. That's one thing. God left us with choice. If God did not leave us with choice, meaning that God could force Christianity on all of us, but God gave us a choice. It's either you choose to go this way or you choose to go the other way. So honestly, as much as people say this and this, we still have a choice. Whether some things are just there, whether somebody comes and hold a gun to your face, you have a choice whether to stay there, and I don't know whether you allow them to shoot you or you talk them out of it, or you run away. But if you run, you are giving them the option to actually shoot you in your back. Do you see that kind of thing? It's either you stay to fight your battle, whether you lose it or not, or you actually go and run and make somebody's target very easy for them. So what I'm saying is, really, our lives are all about choices. The choices that we make are what create us, and is what put us in situations that we live to wake up for the next day. God gave us choice, the power of choice, but he did not say that there won't be consequences of our choices. The same example as I gave, you made a choice to run while somebody was pointing a gun at you. Obviously, the choice that you made to run, you're going to face the consequence of being shot in the back. That is just it. There is no way. You are not going to allow, like, consequences are always going to be there. And whether your decisions are good or bad, there will always be consequences, and there will always be something that is going to come from there. So what I'm trying to say is, please, let's define our relationships, define our boundaries, you know, find our identities, so we don't allow people to run over us, and for us to keep actually bringing ourselves down for things that we don't want. It could be that relationship that is draining you, you know, like somebody keeps cheating on you and you don't like being cheated on. Let me just say, I don't think anybody likes being cheated on, honestly and truly speaking. I don't feel like anybody likes to be cheated on. And honestly, the notion of all people are cheaters or all men are the same, I think that is just a notion that was brought by somebody who chose to date a certain pattern of men that actually cheat on them, or a certain pattern of women that mistreat them, and they want to like now tell the world that, oh my gosh, all women and all men are the same. But it's not like that, because there are people who keep dating the same John or the same David just in different bodies, and those are their choices. Those are their chosen men. That's why people say, oh my gosh, you have such good taste or you have such bad taste, because it's those little patterns that you're following. It's like it's your lane, and if your lane is going to keep treating you badly, I don't know, it's either you change your pattern, the way you draw your pattern, or you just literally get another lane or something like that. Because honestly, I don't feel like people should pin their negative experiences on everybody. You cannot come say, oh my gosh, no, marriages don't work because all men cheat. No, there are good marriages out there, but the notion was brought by somebody who's struggling through their marriage because they made the wrong choices. Either they married the wrong partner or something like that, and now they want to pin it on everybody that, oh my gosh, don't get married, they are going to cheat on you, or your marriage won't last. No, and I don't think that is a healthy relationship to create in the society, to actually demean other people's wants and other people's, what you really desire and what really makes you feel good. Because there's no reason for you to keep allowing yourself to be broken for what society thinks is the norm. No. God left, or even people who treat you badly, they have choices whether to treat you good or to treat you badly, and they make choices to treat you badly. So I don't understand. So it's either you take you and say, oh my gosh, I actually don't like the way you treat me. Your choice of treating me badly does not confirm with what I want for myself, and then I'm gonna leave the situation and leave the table. So honestly, I just feel like when you find your identity as to what makes you tick, as to what makes you happy, and then I think that is where the freedom comes from. I think knowing your boundaries, knowing your identities will help you redefine relationships in your life. Because honestly, when you just know what you want in life, and you know what you want, and you know that, oh, as for me, I'm here, darling, and I'm not gonna allow myself to be treated badly by anybody. I have a choice to stay and I have a choice to go. And whether you used to give me bread and my choice is to leave, the consequence is obviously that I'm going to be hungry, but I'm going to figure it out. Even in my hunger, I still have a choice whether I'm going to decide now, oh my gosh, I'm going to actually do something that actually get to help me and feed me throughout, that kind of thing. You see? Yeah. And also, there are some other people who don't have problem with setting boundaries, but the problem comes with enforcing the boundaries. And this is created by actually when you're allowing, like when relationships are new, it could either be like friendship or love relationships that are new in your life. And I feel like people who know who they want before other people come in their lives, these are the people that attach themselves so quickly before they actually get to know what the person brings to the table. At the end of the time, okay, fine. It's now how people define dating these days. Okay, I'm not with the notion. I believe like dating is getting to know somebody. Now, as I'm here today, I know I used to follow the wrong notion of dating, but now I know that dating is really getting to know someone. You don't have to be sexually intimate with somebody to know them. No, that is 0-0. And that's the problem. When these people who know their boundaries and these people come into their lives, let's make an example. Like, oh my gosh, this girl who knows who they are and what they want, or this guy who knows who they are and what they want, and a girl or a cute guy or what they think is ideal for them comes in their life. And these people are not entirely good for them. But then in their mind, it's like, oh my gosh, he's so ideal. He's so ideal, is what I want. And they actually attach themselves too quickly and too soon to these people, to this friend, to this future partner, without actually knowing who they are. And by that, and finding out whether this person is going to like literally accept you and your boundaries and what you actually find important, or are they just going to like not respect that? And by the time they are so attached, and by the time they actually want to establish boundaries with these people, and these people don't accept them and they're already emotionally attached, they'll be like, okay, fine, let me just, maybe my standards are too high and this person is really what I like and I like them. But those are the first things. I think like when you literally meet people, they should already know this is what you stand for. they should already know what you stand for. It's not a matter of, oh my gosh, let me see. People must already, just when they see, oh my gosh, Veronica, what do you, like, I should already know that, oh, if I'm choosing to be, I know this might be controversial, but I'm just saying, if a girl or a man or a boy is choosing to be celibate, and you come into their lives, and now you are demanding sexual activities or sexual intimacies from them, and they clearly tell you that, no, I'm choosing to be celibate, I'm choosing to keep myself for marriage and whatnot, and you are like, oh my gosh, and you don't accept their standards, you should be the one to go, because you are the problem. They are not the problem. People's boundaries are not the problem, but you that is not accepting people's boundaries, you are the problem, because you have the right to actually go and fish out another person who your boundaries and who your norms or values about life come together, and you guys just form a perfect, perfect bond. But other people's boundaries must not tame them, as they are not well fit in community or something, because they are well put in community, they fit perfectly well, and their values are perfectly fine. You just go and look for your tribe, people that will accept what you think is right, yeah? And leave other people's boundaries and identities out of your choices and out of what you call good or bad, because they are making choices for themselves. Obviously, if somebody now decides, oh, I'm gonna date this man that I think is not good for me, this man who now believes that, no, you should do all these things, if you're celibate, and have sexual intercourse with them and whatnot, and a baby comes, are you really gonna feel good about yourself? No. And honestly, this applies to, like, when you are young, actually like in your early 20s, like when you're, even in your early teens, honestly, like the influence just comes, like you don't have a boyfriend and everybody looks at you so weird, as if, like, I feel like people make young people feel so grown, to the extent that they feel like they're running out of time, but they are not. Like, people will tell you, maybe at 23, like, oh my gosh, you still don't have a boyfriend? And they make it look like it's so, like, oh my gosh, you are missing out on the most important parts of life. No, honestly, you are not missing out on anything. And I don't feel like anybody should make you feel like you're missing out on anything in life that doesn't confirm with your spirit. Because at the end of the day, you'll literally be breaking down your spirit. You'll be like breaking down what you believe, and you'll be feeling so devalued. That's what people who come to destroy your spirit do. They devalue you. Whether you set your standards up here and somebody comes and they tell you, no, 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 this is not where you're supposed to be, darling. This is 2021 and we are here now. This is the standards. To you, they become very low. Even if the community tells them these are the standards now. But they devalue you, because they are now coming down to a certain level where you don't actually appreciate them. That kind of thing. And the important thing is, learn to communicate with others. Learn to communicate with other people in a healthy way. When you are setting your boundaries, you need to communicate with people. You don't have to leave people without any explanation sometimes, especially when you have relationships and healthy relationships with them, but that were kind of draining on your side, but the other person didn't find anything wrong with them. Just communicate healthily, like, oh my gosh, boo-boo, this does not confirm with my spirit. For a long time, I've been hiding this, but this is now becoming so draining that I need to communicate it to you. So you communicate what you're feeling. If you don't like the way somebody does things or the way they treat you, you must say it out loud. And I feel like you're ghosting them or saying, oh my gosh, they are so selfish or they are so what, without communicating and deciding to actually like ghost them without no explanation. They have the right to bad talk you, because at the same time, you did not make them feel like what they were doing to you is wrong, especially if they don't see it. Other people just can't read between the lines. Other people grow up from different backgrounds. than you. What you might find not appealing, another person feels like there's no problem with that, because that's what they grew up with. So I feel like we should really communicate, and communicate in a healthy way when setting boundaries, and that's where the respect comes from. And I feel like people who really respect you will not like trespass your boundaries. They'll be like, okay, fine, here, this is what she says, and I'm not going to try to jump the fence, you know. Yeah, and people who want to jump the fence to go over your boundary, that's now when you start putting thorns, like when you start being a bad person. Not bad per se, but just standing up for yourself. Because there's a difference between being bad and standing up for yourself. So if you're now, somebody's trying to still jump over your fence, you're telling them, no, I don't like this, and they still come to you and pursue you in a certain way, you can put up thorns and like, if it's like this, I'm not going to keep in my life. So you can just go and swallow a blade or something. You know that kind of thing? You know that kind of thing? You have the right to do it. Yep. Honestly, you do have a right. Okay, and another thing of setting your finding your identity really is just about knowing what you want and what you expect from yourself and what you expect from others. What you expect from yourself and what you expect from others is very important. Because if you don't know what you expect for yourself and from yourself and for yourself, I don't know if you're going to be able to actually now dictate what other people should bring to your table or what other people should bring in your life. Because it's just going to be like, okay, fine. Who brings this? Matthew brings plastic flowers, and you're fine with them. But you didn't make it clear that, no, guys, I like flowers, but I don't like plastic flowers. I actually like some real flowers, not plastic flowers. So I feel like you really train people how they treat you, and knowing your boundaries will be the most important decision you are ever going to make in your life. So know who you are. Set your boundaries. You must create them, enforce them, and maintain them. Don't be scared to maintain your boundaries. And please don't allow people in your life. Don't be this person who just gets attached to people through face value. Like you see, oh, Matthew is so cute, and you're like, oh my gosh, but I like him, oh my gosh. And then Matthew is literally against all your beliefs, all your aspirations, and then you're still allowing Matthew in your life just because he's cute. Just because he's cute? Just because he is cute? Darling, does Matthew even value what you value? Will Matthew even like accept if you tell him, oh, Matthew, I actually don't like guys who don't open doors for me? Okay, fine, maybe that might be a little too much, but I'm just saying, it's what you like, right? It's either Matthew decides like, oh no, I don't think that's a big deal, it's just not my thing, and then it's up to you to accept his explanation, or for him to actually start doing what you like, you know, opening doors for you, girl, because you do need doors to be opened, and you do need some real flowers. I'm just saying, you do need some real flowers. Honestly, guys, I don't see any reason why you should devalue yourself for other people. Please don't be Jesus. You are not stepping into Jesus' shoes. Nobody's forcing you to be the Mother Teresa. Nobody is forcing you to be the Mother Teresa of the world, or to be the Mother Teresa of another human being. No, sometimes just allow other people to learn their lessons through what God is trying to teach them. You don't always have to be a mat where they need to clean themselves for them to jump over. No. Build yourself, and you don't have to actually just be the builder, you know. Builders don't live inside their house. I have never seen a person who's building something that is building a house. A builder, I didn't see the owner of the house. In exceptional cases, if it's really yours, you have the right to build it. But if it's not yours, darling, and you're building somewhere else in another plot, you have the right not to live there, because it's not your house, it's not your plot. So build what is for you. Don't go around building for people, taking loans for people. Those are the things I have seen. Some ladies and some men, you're taking loans for another person, And then you come complain like, oh my gosh, I gave them my all, I took loans for them and whatnot. No, that is not healthy. Not for you, not for yourself. So guys, what you should take home today is really your boundaries are your standards. You should create, enforce, and maintain them. And honestly, you should follow that. Maya Angelou was not lying when she said you must create within yourself a space that is inviolate. A space that you keep clean and pristine. That you don't allow nobody to curse you or treat you badly. And this applies in all areas of life. You should not allow people to use you as a doormat. No. Thank you for tuning in with us today. Kindly follow us on Instagram. Follow our pages and like our pages on Facebook. Sorry for that. Yes, in life you should make mistakes, but making good choices can prevent you from having severe consequences. So thank you for tuning in with us today. Thank you so much, and bye-bye. Don't forget to be pretty. Don't forget to be pretty. Don't forget to love yourself, okay? Thank you. From Venetalks. We appreciate you and watching our video. Thank you very much.